Costs. Book and track the costs of your operations, inventory, maintenance, tasks, etc. The Boat app includes a costs module for fully documenting and tracking of the costs incurred on any operation, inventory, maintenance, task, etc. The respective costs are available in various formats: table, bar chart, providing the full picture of the expenditures per boat, trip, time period, example monthly, yearly, category or example. Docking, specific asset, example engine, etc. Having available the real costs and full details of past expenditures, you may budget accurately the costs of any forthcoming period. No more draft cost estimates and conjectures based on poor or missing cost data. Currencies. All international currencies are supported. Prior to start using them and booking costs, let us take a look on base and default currencies, and how these are set up and operate. Base currency. The base currency is used for the internal currency conversions needed to provide costs booked in various currencies into totals in your default currency. The base currency is set up once and doesn't matter to be the same with the default currency or not. Although not mandatory, the typical practice is to set your base currency to the one of your boat's flag. Default currency. You may define a default currency from within your account's general settings. This is the currency to be pre-selected, making costs booking easier and not having to select the currency every time you make a booking. Although the default currency is pre-selected for all costs, you may still change it on any given record and select another currency. Changing manually the currency on a single record does not change the default currency, which will be used in the next cost record to be booked. Here are a couple of examples when better to change the default currency and when not. Ad hoc currency change, once. Your base is in England, thus paying in GBP, but you are hopping occasionally to France, making a couple of euro payments, and thus selecting manually euro on these couple of costs booked. Change the default currency. Your base is in England, thus paying in GBP. However, you go cruising to France for a couple of weeks where all your payments are in euro, thus you switch your default currency to euro to avoid setting it manually on every cost booked. When back in England, you switch the default currency back to GBP. How to access costs. To access costs, log into the Boat app, then you may select Costs from the left side menu. How to register costs. Select Costs from the left side menu and then click plus Add Cost. You are now on the Costs registration screen that appears on the right. Start filling up the data of the cost item you are adding. Here below, you may see the costs fields and their functionality. Name. How you wish to identify this cost item. Better use something descriptive since this name will appear on various lists and reports later on. Boat. The boat for which the respective cost has been made. Amount and currency. The cost, amount paid. The respective currency is automatically selected based on the user's general settings. However, you may select manually another currency if needed for just this cost booking. See details in the default currency above. Date. The date this cost occurred, example receipt of invoice date. Supplier, the store or vendor from where you made this purchase. VAT or GST rate, the percentage of applicable value added tax, VAT, or goods and services tax, GST. The respective tax amount is calculated and displayed automatically below this field. VAT, GST including EXCL. Select whether the VAT, GST, is included in the amount entered above or not. Type. Select whether the cost refers to goods, tangible items, or services, for example, paying a diver for bottom scraping works. Category. Refer to categories and customization. Linked record. Does this cost relate with an inventory, task, trip, or log record? If so, configure it here to make use that this cost will be booked properly, example calculated within a trip. Quantity, the newly purchased quantity. In case you have a linked inventory configured for this cost, this newly purchased quantity will be added to the quantity in stock of the respective linked inventory record. Notes: anything that might be helpful for you to identify this cost. This field is searchable and thus traceable when you are searching for a specific word, a number, a name contained here, example the price paid for a spare part, or the vendor from whom you bought it. Files: attach any documents, photos, videos or any other files relevant to the respective cost, example a receipt photo, a photo or video of a paint job, a bottom scrub, etc. In short, you are strongly advised to include as much info as you can, including uploading any files related to the specific costs such as photos, even videos, about this cost, for example a receipt, a pre-after work photo or video, etc. It might look a bit of extra work for you now, but it can come handy when you may be searching how much you have paid for that bottom scrapping work and to whom. How to manage costs. Edit costs. On the main costs screen, on the costs list view table, hover the mouse cursor on a cost name. Details appears on its right side, and by selecting it you access the Edit Cost screen, where you may edit and change any of the cost record data. Delete costs. After selecting the cost details and access the Edit Cost screen, click the trash bin icon on the top right corner. A pop-up window will appear requesting you to confirm that you indeed wish to delete the specific record. Confirm to permanently delete the record. TheBoatApp. Your boating life in one app. A place for everything and everything in its place.